man is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the man got that stuff. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the leopard. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But look at that, my God.
This is your boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash True Inferno. Back at it with another Call of Duty Black Ops 6 commentary video gameplay for you guys. Who would have saw this coming? Who would have saw this coming? Now, it was on, I think it was May the 10th, and I just had it up, but I believe it was on May the 10th where I dropped a video talking about Microsoft raising their prices. And out of the three, I think they were the first to do it this year. So, and at the time, let's go. Well, I'm not gonna go over what they raised the price to at that moment, because we're gonna compare all of them pretty much at the same time, so y'all don't lose track of what's going on. So I believe this happened on May the 1st. My video on this dropped on May the 10th of this year, 2025. As of me recording this, it is September the 30th, 2025. So we're talking about 4 months later. Microsoft raised the prices again. Yes, they raised the prices again, or they're going to raise the price again. And these price changes will take effect on this, I think it's this Friday. No, yeah, this Friday, October the 3rd. So let's take a look at what the prices used to be, and then what, like going into this year, and then what they were raised to going back to May, and what they are going to be starting this Friday, October the 3rd. And then we're going to react to this. So, back then, the Xbox, and then they don't did it with their systems, by the way. It's not the accessory this time. The accessories will remain what they are when they raised those prices back in May, by the way. But we're talking about the systems. So, starting with the Xbox Series S, we got the 512 gigabyte joint. That one was originally $300. Now, all this is in USD. All this is in America. I don't know if they're going to raise the prices again worldwide. I know they raised the prices earlier this year worldwide. I don't know if they're going to do it a second time worldwide, but this is, as far as I know, just for the US, by the way. So, going into the year, it was the Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte version was $300. Then they raised it from $300 to $380. So an $80 raise, which is a lot. Well, they raising it again. And here's where things going to get funny. They raising it again from $380 to $400. So a $20 raise from the previous price hike, which means this system was raised up to $100 from the start of the year to October the 3rd. It's been raised up by $100. So remember, it entered the year at $300. Now on October the 3rd, it's going to be $400. So it went from $300 to $380 to $400. Now we're not done, obviously. We got the Xbox Series S, or the 1 terabyte. That one started off at $350 at the start of the year. Then this May, they raised it from $350 to $430. Another $80 raise. Well, on top of that, that is now going from $430 to $450. So another Xbox Series S console that went up by $100, which is ridiculous. Now, and this is like the low-end version of the console, and it's basically costs the same as the Switch 2, which I find funny. Okay, now let's get to the big boy, the Xbox Series X digital version this time. So we're gonna start with the digital version. So at the start of the year, that mug was $450. Then they raised it to $550. So $100 different right there. So they probably wait. They raising it beyond $100? Yeah. So, and here's where things gonna get ridiculous. So remember, it went from $450 to $550, and now on October the 3rd, it's going to be $600. So now we're talking about a $150 price increase throughout the year on the Xbox Series X Digital Edition, which is egregious. Now let's get on to the Xbox Series X, which is the console that I have, and here's how much I paid for it, because this is the price that it was at the start of the year. That system came in at $500. Well, going back to May, it was raised from $500 to $600. And now, when October the 3rd pops up, it's now going from $600 to $650. So another Xbox Series X console that went up by $150, which is ridiculous. And now we got the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition. Oh, y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this one? Okay, so at the start of the year, this one was $600. And that mug jumped up from $600 to $730. So this is a $130 price increase. That was back in May. Now, or this October 3rd, they're raising it up to $800. So that 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition went from $600 to $800. That's a $200 price increase. And all of this is ridiculous because I said this back in May when they originally raised these prices. I'm going to say it again right here. Nobody's getting this shit. Nobody's getting this. And there's multitude of reasons why nobody's getting into any of this shit. Because out of the three consoles, referring to Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, Microsoft consoles are dead last. They are dead last. That's number one. Number two, we are approaching Black Friday. Normally, prices go down. Never mind just for Black Friday, but how long had these consoles been out for? When did the Xbox Series X and S come out? Hold up. Let me look and see when this system first came out. This system came out when? I don't recall off the top of my head, but maybe 2019? No, okay. It came out in 2020. We are 5 years in, and they're raising prices. Like, think about that. We are 5 years into this system's life cycle, and they're raising the prices, which is ridiculous. And they did it twice within 4 months, which is egregious. So you would think, now, am I saying, oh, price should be down at the 5 year span? No, I'm not saying that. I probably would have said 6, 7, 8, something along those lines. That's when we should see prices go down. But never have we seen prices go up. We've seen different versions of that system that come out as that cycle goes on, and those prices were higher than the OG versions. Okay, that's fine. That makes more sense depending on what in that system compares to the OG version. But to increase the prices not once but twice, I don't care what the amount is. Like it could be, oh, the first price increase could be $10, and then the next one could be $5. I don't care. The fact that they raised the prices twice within 4 months is egregious. And by the way, let me get back to my original point. Black Friday is coming up. Normally, prices go down for Black Friday, but they going up before Black Friday. So that begs the question, what y'all going to do for Black Friday? What y'all going to do for Black Friday? At that point, they're going to have to add a bunch of games, some Game Pass, Xbox Live or whatever, to justify this price. But because as it is right now, nobody is buying this shit, and nobody should buy this shit. It makes no sense. You better off, to be honest, you better off buying a Switch 2. You better off saving money for the PlayStation 6, the PlayStation 6 handheld. And you know Microsoft gonna come out with a new system outside, after the Xbox Series X and S. They're gonna come out with a brand new system. Even though some may say, yo, they should basically give up on the consoles and just focus on games. But the word is, even though I haven't heard any rumors, serious rumors, like I have for the PlayStation 6, but the word is that, yeah, a new Xbox console is coming. So why in the hell would anybody get an Xbox Series X or S? It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. So we're talking about a system that is in last place out of the three, Nintendo with the Switch 2, Sony with the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro, and now we got the Xbox Series X and S. And it's in last place because who got the better first-party games? Nintendo. Within this generation, it's Nintendo. It's Nintendo. Even if, let's not count the Switch 2. Let's just go off the original Switch. Who got the better first-party games? Nintendo. Who got the best system? PlayStation. The PlayStation 5 Pro. And even the PlayStation 5 was better than the than the Xbox Series X and S. So that was before the Pro dropped. But now that the Pro's out, that is the best console out now. So if your competitor got the best first-party games and your other competitor got the best system and your games are now playable on that system, why in the hell would anybody get an Xbox? It makes no sense. There's no reason for anybody to get an Xbox. It's asinine. It's egregious. It's blasphemous. It's just stupid. So the fact that they raising prices again, to me, is dumb. And I don't know, like, what led them to this decision. Like, why? Why would they do that? That makes no sense to me. I don't understand why they raising the prices again. And I found another article. This is from CNBC. I'm curious to know why they did this. So let's check this out. Let's look at the key points. So the CNBC article is called Microsoft Raises Xbox Prices in the United States Due to Economic Environments. So the key points. Microsoft said on Friday that it will increase the recommended retail price of several Xbox consoles in the U.S. because of changes in the quote here, changes in the macroeconomic environment, end quote. It's the second time Microsoft had raised prices on its consoles in the U.S. this year, to be honest, within 4 months. And rivals Sony and Nintendo have also raised console prices as President Trump's tariffs went into effect. So, but the thing with them is, with Sony, they only raised their prices once. And with Nintendo, they raised their prices, and this is something that I need to do a video on. They actually raised the prices on the OG Switch in America. Originally, I did a video about them doing it in Canada. They actually did it in America too. And that's the Switch, not the Switch 2, the Switch 1, by the way. But Sony and Microsoft, they only raised their prices once. Microsoft raised it a second time, which to me makes no sense. So, now, going to the second paragraph. The company said, referring to Microsoft, it would not increase prices for accessories such as controllers and headsets, and that prices in other countries would stay the same. While Microsoft didn't, and then moving on to the next paragraph, while Microsoft didn't explicitly attribute the increase to the Trump administration's tariffs, many consumer companies has been warning for months that high prices are on the way. Trump have issued tariffs this year on multiple countries with a stated goal to bring more manufacturing to the U.S. And then here's what Microsoft said on its website. We understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consent. No, they were not. Now, moving on to with this article. It's the second time Microsoft have raised prices on its consoles in the U.S. this year. So, there you go with that. And then talk about, what they did. So, my thing is, you already raised the price due to economical environments earlier this year. Like, first of all, there's no need to raise prices to begin with. That's number one. And number two, y'all raised it a second time, which is blasphemous. And you got to be idiotic to buy an Xbox Series X or S right now. I don't care who you are. You got to be idiotic to get a system, to get one of those systems right now. Because number one, it's the worst system out of the three. Like, their first party games are on PlayStation now. They're coming to PlayStation, and Game Pass, you can do that on PC. And their first party games are a joke now in comparison to Nintendo. So that's number one. Number two, they raising the prices from about $100, $150 to $200. So that's egregious. And number three, it's the worst one out of the three. Like, it's the worst console. So, like, the competitors got better consoles. So why in the world will you spend a lot more money on the worst out of the three? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And if I catch anybody right now buying an Xbox Series X or S, I will, don't let me see you in person. I would slap the dog shit out of you if I catch you buying an Xbox Series X or S right now. Like, it's just egregious. It's really, really egregious. You're better off saving your money. I'm not even going to say buy a PlayStation. I'm not going to say buy, even though the PlayStation 5 Pro is the best system out now, and the Switch 2 is the more popular system out now. But you better off buying the Switch 2, and that's it. If you don't have any of these systems, whether the previous generation or the new generation, I guess the Switch 2 is in the generation of itself at the moment. That's why I said the new generation. So it's in the generation of itself, and that's another reason. This is a previous generation console at this point. So why spend $600, $700, $800 on a previous generation console? It makes no sense. So your only options is to get the Switch 2 or wait for the newer systems to drop. Referring to the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox, I don't know what they're going to call it. Whatever comes after the Xbox Series X and S, whatever it's called, you're better off waiting for that, or you're better off gaming on PC, which is the superior console anyway. Because getting an Xbox now is dumb. It's idiotic. And I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know this boy New Jay Gatsby, aka New Stupid A Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.